came over to her apartment with my siblings.
And I was being kind.
And she was being kind.
Out of the kindness of my heart,
And offered
fed him
me food.
my food.
Poison.
And he had the audacity to tell me that my food was boo-boo.
There's
Girl
no
was
way.
offended
There's no
because
way
we weren't
in the
even
world.
in a relationship.
Yeah.
What's up, party people? My name's Elizabeth.
And my name is Ugo.
And welcome to another episode of Youthful Vibes, where we bring fun and enlightenment to the journey of youth. And today we are coming at y'all hard, okay? And I'm pretty sure I just made an ugly face there, but it doesn't matter. We coming at you hard. We got a goal for October. Our goal for October is to reach 250 subscribers. And we can do that with your help.
Yes.
How can you help us? You can help us by sharing our YouTube channel, by sharing your favorite videos on your social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Tumblr, whatever it is that you're on.
If you watched it and you liked it, just
share it.
That's it.
All right.
Okay? Good. So today we're going to be talking about women, relationships, and cooking. So it's something that we have some friends who have experienced now, and it's a conversation that is had all the time. But if you are in love with a girl, or you really like this girl, but she can't cook, should that be a deal breaker? Yeah, should you just cut everything off because she can't cook? Should the fact that she can't cook be a deal breaker in terms of moving the relationship into the stage of marriage? All right, so before we jump in, the first thing that we want to talk about is, so you could have your makeup game together, you could have everything together, but from the perspective of a guy, if you have everything else together, and this is unfortunate, it's just the way it is. If you have everything together, but you can't cook, it still is going to be something that's going to warrant a conversation. For some guys, depending on the part of the world you're in, it could be a tally or a check mark in the con column of their pros and cons. And it's just something that I wanted to talk about and bring enlightenment to.
I am sorry, ladies, but this is geared more towards the guys. And I feel like here in this video, I'm the one that's being a sellout.
We made a video on sex. I sold out, now she gets a sellout.
So I'm so sorry, but let's get started.
So we feel like there are two scenarios here. First, if she can cook, but she won't cook, or she can't cook, but she won't learn. So these two would be considered one category. The second category would be she can't cook and she won't learn. She won't be a mama. He doesn't want to talk about anything like that. That's the second category. So let's talk about the first category. You ready?
It's kind of extreme, but yeah.
All right, first category, let's go.
All right, so if she can't cook, but she's willing to learn, okay? Then
What do you do?
I feel like you've got yourself a pretty good girl. You just happen to be in a scenario where she doesn't know how to cook. However, she wants to learn how to cook. So why not make it fun, right?
So take cooking classes together. What else?
You can have cookbooks. I found this app that I love. It's called Meal Lime. And even though I do know how to cook, hubby and I like to kind of mix things up every once in a while. And so it gives me a ton of different recipes. And so I have learned how to cook different meals from there.
And it's free.
Yes, it's
that's the best part. It's free. So
it's free.
So it's definitely, because we know some people as well who it was like a big deal for them in their relationship, and the guy's like, okay, we can't move on if you can't cook. The girl's like, okay, but I'm willing to learn, but for whatever reason, let's just say upbringing, parents never taught it or whatever it was, then okay, it's something I need to work on, and they took it up. There's cookbooks, there's recipe books or apps these days, and there are classes you could take as well online or even on YouTube. Freaking YouTube allows you to just look up steps to make stuff.
I learned how to make crepes on YouTube.
How to make what?
Crepes.
Did you make it already?
Yeah.
We did it?
You didn't have any. Sorry.
Oh, okay, good.
So actually, I feel like we skipped a very important step because we jumped right into what can you do, right? So outside of taking up cooking classes and everything, I think it's important to ask. I mean, you're getting to know one another. It's important to ask, how come she doesn't know how to cook? You know, it's just a very simple conversation.
Or how come she doesn't want to cook?
Yes,
right?
that too. Yeah. So it's a very simple conversation, and I feel like it gives you an insight more into her life also.
I think we should run for your dear life, because I mean, there's only so much Chick-fil-A you can eat before.
Hey, there is nothing wrong with Chick-fil-A. Your girl over here loves it. Nothing wrong with it. I can eat it morning, noon, and night, just like Africans can eat rice morning, noon, and night.
I mean,
don't come for my chicken.
This is a staple food of Africa. I mean, it's rice. Well, I mean, without rice, it's like...
Don't come for my chicken.
You want to marry an African? Learn to cook rice. That's it. Rice is the thing. Just rice.
Also, another thing that you can do if you don't know how to cook but you're willing to learn is go to friends who know how to cook, whose food you have tasted and has not given you food poisoning. Go back to your parents or go back to your boyfriend or your fiance, whomever's family. You'd be surprised, a lot of families are very open to teaching you how to cook their dishes and everything.
And we're not just talking, it's important to highlight that we're not just referring to native meals, right? It's just cooking in general. Right?
Yeah, because meal line is not native meals.
Yeah, it's all culture based, but at the same time, it's just the concept of cooking, period. Okay, so all in all, what we're saying under point number 1 is if she can't, but she's willing to learn, then make it fun. Like, make fun of her. Because let me tell you, by the way, but the fact that you're talking relationship and you're talking about taking things to the next level, doesn't mean that she has to be perfect coming in, because a certain someone, when we first got together, I mean, she could cook. Let me tell
y'all something.
But it wasn't all that.
No, first of all, let me tell y'all something. I could cook, but the first time this man, honey, but the first time that this man tasted my stew, he was like, it was terrible. And I'm like, first of all, we weren't even dating, y'all. We weren't even dating. Like, he was not even in my peer view.
Okay. Like, so because you're dating someone, by the way, we were friends, distant friends, and then I came over to her apartment with my siblings.
And I was being kind.
And she was being kind.
Out of the kindness of my heart,
and offered me food.
My food.
Poison.
And he had the audacity to tell me that my food was boo-boo.
There's no way. There's no way
we weren't even in a relationship.
Yeah.
That was just straight up rude and disrespectful. Let me tell you about yourself.
She ran out of pepper. She used it all. Like all the pepper, everything was gone in the food.
I'm Yoruba. We cook spicy food.
No one cares where you're from. It was bad.
We cook spicy food. This guy's Igbo. He didn't know anything about pepper till he met me, till I came into his life. So that's why he's talking about I cooked stew, but I cooked pepper and then I put tomato inside.
I mean, it was like she literally just added tomatoes to pepper. Like it was that.
It was good. It was
both myself,
spicy.
babe. I think we're going a little bit. Just accept the fact that you couldn't cook. It was terrible. We can move forward with this.
It's not like anyone taught me. Okay, so how come you love my cooking now?
Because that's my point, y'all. Evolution.
Offended. The end.
No, but truth be told though, there's still growth to happen, and you can make it fun. You can make it, an enjoyable process for the girl to learn how to cook, so she can make whatever she's looking to, while she's learning, she can make the different meals and different dishes, and she's gonna burn it sometimes, and you just make it fun. Just
or he'll burn it sometimes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later, about the role the guy plays, because it's not just about the girl cooking all the time. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to point number 2.
Point number 2.
All right, point number 2. Let's go. If she can't cook and she's not willing to learn, or
give her the boot.
Or if she can cook but she wouldn't cook, or she's not interested in cooking, what do you do then?
I feel like I've got so many points under this one.
Go ahead.
And the first point I want to say is, gentlemen, it's important to not be in denial, okay? If you have your list of qualities that you're looking in a woman for wifey material, and you feel like the ability to cook is very high on your list, there is no point in dragging it on. I'm sorry, ladies, but it's the honest truth. Because, man, it's important that you don't try to change your spouse. Your job is not to come into a relationship and make someone different from who they are. Granted, there's nothing wrong with growth. There's nothing wrong with growing together, but there is a difference between growing together and trying to change someone to be someone completely different.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to try to understand why. So if she won't cook, if she's able to, or if she can't cook, she's not willing to learn. I wonder what the reason for that could be, right? And it could be career. It could be the fact that she's career oriented. She would rather go out there and pour into her job and get to the top, and she wouldn't be able to she wouldn't want to come home and then worry about cooking. In that case, does it make sense to get a maid or get a chef, right? And if that's gonna happen, you better be making a lot of money, right?
Well, I want to piggyback off of that, because I feel like that's such a big deal in this day and age. Like, we're in the 21st century, and women are going after their careers just as much as men are. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, like, it's sad and it's bad that has to be a point in the con column for someone that's ambitious and is a go-getter, but you don't want someone to end up resenting you in the long term when they feel like their career and their goal is very important to them, and then they have to put that on the back burner because you want them to be someone that sits in the kitchen and cooks meals and have things ready for you when you get home, or however you want your setup to be. Yeah,
but whatever the case is, if she can't cook and she won't cook, you really gotta think about it long and hard and make sure that you're willing to accept that, because hoping that she's gonna change in the relationship might not happen. So if you don't want to eat Chick-fil-A for the long term, yeah, that's one.
I'm going to need you to stop coming for my chicken. Yo, this man knows I love Chick-fil-A. I'm so sad that they don't open on Sundays.
Okay, of course there are other options out there, right? Like we said earlier, you could hire a chef, you could hire a maid. You could, have your food delivered from a restaurant. A maid? I can cook. but then that brings the next topic. Should the girl or should the lady be the only one who has to learn how to cook? Should the guy also learn how to cook? Because there's this traditional role thing that we have set up where the men are so career minded and the women are homemakers. I believe that as times change, that necessarily doesn't have to be the case anymore, right? You could have women who could get further and farther in their careers than the guys, and in that case, should the guy cook as well? Mm-hmm. So that you have the girl cooking and the guy cooking, or perhaps which is our setting. I cook. There's some things
Can I just say that I absolutely love that? Like, yeah. It takes such a huge weight off of me when hubby gets into the kitchen and makes his spaghetti. And
don't mention things that can make. It's not just okay.
I was gonna make a list.
Don't make a list of it. You're limiting my capabilities.
I'm not limiting you. Okay, all I'm saying is hubby can throw down, and it helps when he steps in because it gives me an opportunity to take a break and recharge, because then the next dish that I drop, it is hammer.
Yeah. But her food is always good, so that's I always enjoy her cooking. So thank you for that.
That's sweet.
All right, so. All right, so the next thing though is that traditional role thing. It's important for guys not to get locked into that mentality that it only has to be the woman who's gonna cook. The guy could help as well. Now, if you so desire to marry someone who can't cook, who's not willing to cook, who doesn't want to entertain it, and you're okay with being the one who's gonna do all the cooking for the family and do all the, because it also happens for cross cultural marriages where, say, if you're an African marrying an American, the American might not really know how to cook your African dishes all the time, or cook it well enough, so you have to cook it yourself. But what we're saying is accept the reality on ground and try not to go in with the mentality of changing your partner. Because
you knew, so don't try going in blind and then getting upset later down the line when they're not willing to change.
Yeah.
Another thing to consider is whose career is more demanding and has higher returns. Okay, so like I stated before, a lot of women are very career oriented and are ambitious, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that when it comes to cooking in a home, if you do want your wife to cook, then you need to consider, in the long run, is her career gonna bring us home more? So
piggybacking off of that, it's like, if she's a medical doctor, for instance, right? We know that their careers they could be on call around the clock, right? And they could need to be away from home. So if you're locked into the traditional mentality that the woman has to cook all the time, but she has to be gone, then is it worth her working less and cooking more at home? Or can you reach some sort of an arrangement where you as a guy is helping, stepping in and helping, right? So we want to consider, I want to consider the career, I want to consider how far she could go with it. I also want to consider if the returns, because it's really critical. If she's working all the time, where the returns is not a lot, there are some careers where that is the case. I'm not going to mention any of them.
That does not diminish her effort, because she's still bringing home something.
Yes,
okay?
it does not in any way diminish her
Baby.
effort. Yes. So, just keep that in mind. It's something that's worth mentioning.
Yes.
The last thing we want to point out is it doesn't really matter how you look at it, whether it's the woman doing all the cooking or if it's the guy doing all the cooking. Once you accept the realities, then you could either take it upon yourself that in this relationship, in the marriage, in the home, you're going to cook all the time. Or if you're locked into the traditional way of looking at it, leave like now, like be calling her right now and be saying like, it's over, baby, you're cute, you're hot, but it's not your makeup that we're going to eat. You have to learn how to throw down, right? If you can't throw down, then just bolt, end it. Finally, I think, and this is my best, it's my favorite, right? I think the best arrangement is where both people bring something to the table, right? She doesn't have to do all the cooking. There are times when, especially when you start having kids, when she's gonna get burned out or when she would need a break. And quite frankly, women don't like to eat their own food sometimes. So it helps to be able to
That's why I love
contribute to the table too.
And I just love his cooking better. Like there's certain things that he cooks and I'm like, baby, thank you, Jesus. Don't let your head get all big now.
You can't get any bigger than this.
Anyway, guys, that is all we have on this topic. Don't forget to drop us a comment in the comment section to let us know what you think. And if you have found a better way to do it out there, let us know. Drop that in the comments so that people can see that there are other alternatives. All right? We hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more contents like this, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell, the ring-a-ding-ding, to let you know when we drop something hot.
Okay, until next time, and I think we're losing daylight. So, until next time, bye-bye.
You got dark real quick.
I got dark.
Promise you I'm not bald, guys. I actually do have hair.
No.
Don't let them see your hairline. Oh wait, can't find it.
Okay. I blend right into the background, babe. They won't even see it. Let's be fast and finish already because I can't see myself. I'm getting super.
Yeah, I can't see you either.
I'm blending into the background.
Yeah.
Dang, I gotta be so
black. I know your picture in the back.
It's so black.
Do I have a booger?